If you're new to Deception Bytes, hit the like and subscribe button and be sure to hit the bell to be notified of future videos. If you wish to support the channel, the links are in the description below. Now, fasten your seatbelt. Here we go. Alrighty dighty, I'm back and it is Sunday, February the 24th, and it's 6:41 p.m. I'm getting an early start today. Now, let me get off of this infinity screen, so it's not very pleasant to look at. Anyway, we're going to be doing, looking at February 22nd because I am behind. I told you that I may be away not last night, but the night before. And then last night, I ended up having computer problems. I had to do a lot of work with my computer and getting viruses off and stuff today. So hopefully we're all squared away with that. But I did want to explain to you, we have a bad storm happening outside, and I'm trying to get this done early in case the electricity goes off. It's already been off once today. We're getting hurricane strength winds, which is very odd for this area. And so if you hear any creaking and groaning, that's what it is. Yeah, so I'm just here with you guys, me and, my deerskin rug here. Yeah, I use it. It's comes in quite handy actually with the new kitten, because what I do is when the kitten's being bad, I take it over to the rug and I say, you see that? You know what I did to that deer, I could do to you. So you better behave. And so far it's worked, Anyway, enough of that. Let's get started. We're going to go through the 22nd. Not sure if it's going to take one video or two. I'm going to try to do it in one, but if it gets too cumbersome, I'm going to split it up. Also, it helps if I split it up because if the power goes out, I haven't lost as much work as if I've worked on an hour video and I'm at, 55 minutes in and the power goes out. That would just be really annoying. So let's get started. And also, Q has posted today, did not post yesterday, but posted today. Q has posted today, and what I'm going to do is after I finish this, I still have to research a bit of that before I bring it to you, but I'm going to try to bring it to you tonight. If I don't, you can just assume that my power's out because I have every intention of doing it. I've settled in for the night and just, I'm just all ready to go. All right, let's do it. So this is the first one from February 22nd. And Q references 3 Twitter accounts, which I have clipped out for us to save a little bit of time. And we're going to look at those first before we look at the drop itself. So this is the first one by Kimberly Stossel, or Strassel rather. Conspiracy theorist Adam Schiff is looking for something new, anticipating a Mueller letdown, writes Kim Stossel. And that is the Wall Street Journal. She is from the Wall Street Journal. And that is exactly what Adam Schiff is doing because, of course, he isn't content to let Mueller's investigation lie. He says no, basically that he's going to keep investigating until they find a crime. Now, he didn't put it that way, but that's exactly what he means. Really, generally, you have a crime and then you investigate it. Well, not with these guys. They want to investigate and find a crime and then So there you go. And that is very, very true. And then this from the New York Times, a concise Mueller report would mark the end of the beginning, not the beginning of the end, argues Neil Catrell. Now, isn't that interesting? Saying that the end of the report, which we're anticipating very, very soon, the end of the report, that's going to just be the end of the beginning, but not the beginning of the end. Yeah, so which means basically, okay, well, we don't care what the Mueller report says, and which is odd because haven't we just heard about, the Mueller report and it's going to take him down, it's going to take him out, he's going to be in jail, he's going to be in prison. And okay, now the Mueller report, they found out, okay, you know what? I don't think that this is going to be the big, boom that we were expecting. I don't think there's much of anything there because he's already said there's no evidence of collusion. So now they're soft pedaling this narrative to keep it in the news. They've got to keep it in the news, right? They have to keep it in the news until 2020 because they want that in the back of voters' minds. Oh, maybe I shouldn't vote for Donald Trump because, all that stuff about Russia. Yeah, that's exactly what they're doing. And so, we've been waiting and waiting and waiting for the end of the Mueller report, and they've all been saying, "Oh, yeah, wait till that comes here. Oh, wait till we get that report." But then now it's here, and they're like, "Okay, but this is just the end of the beginning. We're gonna keep investigating. We're gonna find a crime." And then there's old Adam Schiff there that says, "Oh, I've seen the evidence." No, he hasn't. No, he hasn't. Because number one, it's classified. So no, he hasn't. And number two, if there really was evidence, don't you think Mueller would be trotting that out? Yes, he would. So that is the second link that he provided. And this is the third by Rob Reiner. And you know what? I never realized, he really is a meathead. Archie Bunker was right. Anyway, he says, from what I understand about the complexities, opaqueness, and length of counterintelligence investigations, I'd be surprised if Mueller was able to uncover the breadth of this conspiracy. More digging will have to be done, but there'll be crimes, and we better get to see them. Okay. 2 years, over 200 witnesses, how many millions of dollars has been spent? I mean, it's not just Mueller out there investigating. There's other people working on this. He has a team of people. So yeah, 2 years, millions of dollars, and over 200 so-called witnesses have been interviewed, and there's nothing. But Rob Reiner and the New York Times, and, they're like, "Oh, yeah, well," and Adam Schiff, they're like, "Oh, well, yeah, but, you can't expect Mueller to find everything. This stuff's so deep there, yeah. They're trying to come up with a new narrative before the report hits because they know that there's nothing in it. It's a big nothing burger. Yeah. So, now let's go up and see what Q has to say, because that's why you're here, ultimately. Okay, so Q says soft push of new narrative. So those were three examples of the new narrative that they've come up with. That, yeah, Mueller didn't find it, but that doesn't mean it's not there. Yeah. So, what happened to the Mueller hype? I'd like to know that too. What did happen to the Mueller hype? Don't know. What happened to the Mueller will take down POTUS threats? And he's aiming this at John Brennan. So, yeah, John Brennan, what happened to the Mueller will take down POTUS threats? What happened to all that? What happened to all this hype about Mueller's going to take him down? Guess not. Was Mueller the insurance policy, aka blockade, designed to limit, restrict POTUS' ability to enforce the law? Sure was. You know why? Because if Mueller is investigating and Trump, let's say Trump wants to, somebody has testified and Trump wants to fire that person or whatever, or bring prosecution against that person, well, he can't, because then everybody points and says, "Oh, he's just trying to stop the Mueller investigation." That's what he's trying to do. Don't you think that's why Adam Schiff is leading a new investigation? Because he thinks it's going to protect him. He thinks it's going to, because what will happen is if POTUS tries to pin on Adam Schiff all the things that need to be pinned on him, he'll just stand up and cry foul play. He'll say, "Yeah, but you know why he's doing this? It's because I'm investigating him and he's just striking back at me." Yes, and he will say it in that whiny voice too. You know he will. All right. So, new talking points being pushed, backing away from Mueller as the savior. Excuse A, excuse B, excuse C. Oh, they'll come up with any number of excuses because they needed Mueller to take down POTUS. Well, he didn't come through for them because there's nothing there. They've tried to fabricate the evidence. That didn't work. So, I don't know. I guess all they have left is saying, "Well, Mueller didn't find it, but that doesn't mean it's not there." Yeah. Okay. So, traders. New talking points being pushed, backing away from Mueller as savior, excuse A, B, C. Why are new investigations by Adam Schiff being started if, as he stated for almost 2 years, evidence exists that ties POTUS to Russia. Yeah, Adam Schiff, what about all that? Yeah, you said you had the evidence. Well, can't you bring it? I mean, it would end it, right? I mean, it's conclusive evidence. That's what you said. So why don't you bring it and we can just put all this to bed? Oh, that's right. That's because you don't have it. Right. Anyway, if they had evidence, would they be backing away, playing down the Mueller report about to be released? Oh, no, they wouldn't. No, they wouldn't. If the Mueller report contained evidence of collusion on the part of Trump, let me tell you, they would all be talking non-stop 24/7 about the Mueller report. It would be everywhere you turn. It would be on every station. It would be everywhere. It would be on all the newspapers. You wouldn't be able to walk 10 yards without somebody talking about it. But because they didn't find collusion, well, now it's Mueller's fault. He didn't do a good enough job. There's collusion there. He just didn't find it. Whatever. All right. If they had evidence, would they be backing away, playing down the Mueller report? No, they wouldn't. First, they pushed for a special counsel. Yes. Now they claim the special counsel didn't look deep enough. What? 2 years, 200 witnesses, and millions of dollars of taxpayers' dollars, might I add, is not enough? You can't find it in that amount of time? Well, maybe that's because there's no crime. If the special counsel report is classified, how do they know where, who, when, why, and how deep each case? Yeah, it's a good question. Do they have leaks? Because I thought that they had plugged all those leaks or gotten rid of the leakers, not the leakies. I don't know who the leakies are. Okay, so if the special counsel report is classified, how do they know the conclusions of the report? Yeah, how do they know the conclusions of the report? It's a good question. Somebody leaking? They need to get some depends. Anyway, are new investigations designed to be an insurance extension? Yes, that's exactly what this is designed to do, is extend this, because they need to. They have to keep this going until 2020 because this is their ace in the hole, they think. It's all they've got to work with. I mean, it's not like they can win on their own merits, right? Because nobody's buying what they're selling. Nobody. Americans are sick to death with what the Democrats are offering at this point. So they can't win on their own. So they're going to do whatever they can to, get it in people's mind that, okay, don't vote for Trump. He's dirty. He's in there with Russians. Him and Putin are like this. Anyway, let's go on. Are new investigations designed to be an insurance extension? Yes. Designed to prevent POTUS from cleaning house? Absolutely. Just like I said, Adam Schiff is bringing this new investigation because apparently Mueller just didn't do a good enough job, and we need to spend millions of more dollars on a crime that doesn't exist, never did exist, but it prevents the POTUS from fingering him and saying, look, you know what, and indicting him, whatever, because he'll stand up and say, oh, he's picking on me because I'm trying to do my job and find the crime that he and Putin, they're lovers. I don't know. Maybe, who knows? The way they did Russia. Unbelievable. Anyway, okay. So, attack on political opponents who is or are actively conducting or leading investigations into the president for XYZ charges beyond Mueller for XYZ reasons, zero evidence to support, obstruction trap? Of course, because that's what they'll say POTUS is doing. They'll say he's obstructing justice. We're trying to get him on this Russia thing, him and Putin, they're long lost brothers from another mother. I don't know. Anyway, that's what they'll say. He's obstructing justice. So, yeah. Makes sense. I mean, strategically, from their point of view, it makes sense. I mean, if you're morally corrupt, sure, it makes sense to do that. But anyway, Southern District of New York, opening a private investigation for the sole purpose of finding a crime. Yes, that's what they're doing. They're not investigating a crime. They're finding a crime. And in cases like the Steele dossier, they're fabricating a crime. Yeah. Evidence to support? None. Evidence presented? None. Does Southern District of New York report to Attorney General Barr? Now, that is something I don't know. I don't know if they do or not. So that is something, if you know, please put it in the comments below. But I know you guys are so helpful that a lot of times, I'll ask something, and because you're so helpful, 300 people will answer it. So just look and see if somebody's already answered it, just skip on. But I do like to hear from you guys. So just let me know if you know. Watch the news. It says Maxine Waters opening new investigations into the finances of POTUS and or his family. Yes, she is. And I find that a little ironic, seeing as she was voted, I don't know how many times, to be the most corrupt politician in Washington. Yeah, that's saying a lot, isn't it? Wow. And yeah, she wants to investigate his finances. Right. Well, how about we investigate hers? How about, if POTUS agrees, if I was POTUS, I'd say, sure, you can look at my finances right after I see yours. So, yeah, because you know what they'd find if they were looking at Maxine Waters' finances. Why did the Democrats state things will calm down if we retake the House prior to the midterm elections? Because they knew they were going to win the midterm elections, and they knew that when they did win the midterm elections, that they would be in a position to chair new investigations, because they're not going to let this go. It's not ever going to go. I mean, they're like a dog with a bone. They have bulldog tenacity, and they're not going to let go. They know that there's no collusion. They know that full well. But they don't want you to know that. So anyway, was their plan to retake the House in order to chair each respective committee in order to start new erroneous investigations in an attempt to retain the blockade? Yes. And Mueller, of course, was the blockade. He was installed as a blockade to Trump getting things done. I don't know how he's been able to, the last year, get everything done that he's done, because not only, is he an outsider, but he's got all of this against him, coming against him. I mean, I don't know how he's managed to get as much done. I really don't. I don't think any president ever in the history of the United States has had the backlash that he's had. And literally, I mean, I think he's coined a new term, presidential harassment. That's what it is. Absolutely. This is a free country, and yes, we have, supposedly we have free speech, which we really don't anymore, not in terms of free media or social media anyway, but this is a free society, and we can, if we disagree with the president, we can say so. But there's a difference between disagreeing with him on policy and harassing him personally. Talking about the size of his private parts and things like that is just way out of line. Way out of line. Okay, retain the insurance policy, and of course, Mueller was the insurance policy, and so was the Steele dossier, which was a big flop. Retain the optical illusion that a crime was committed. Yeah, and that's all it is an optical illusion, because there was no crime. If there was, they would have found it. Retain the narrative. Yeah. Retain Democratic base outrage. Oh, yeah. They have to have a reason to be mad. It's like, and if you haven't read it, please read it. If you haven't read it recently, and if you're not a reader, you can even get it on Audible. You can get Audible books, but read 1984, because what is happening there is exactly what's happening. Exactly. Like, that book is brilliant. And in 1984, they had to have an enemy. They had to have an enemy to be mad at. And that's what the Dems, they need that enemy. They need to have their base whipped up. And, they need that boogeyman, because then we need them. We need them. It's like, oh, please, please get rid of the big bad Trump for us, please. If you have truth on your side, what advantages does that present? Well, you know what? You don't have to have a good memory if you tell the truth, because liars have to have incredible memories, don't they? Really, to keep up with all their own lies. But if you're telling the truth and it's on your side, then, you just tell the truth. You don't have to remember anything. You just have to tell the truth. But also, I believe that, the truth ultimately, hopefully, will prevail. We know that, we'd like to say that it's always that case. Truth always wins. No, you know what? Truth doesn't always win, and you and I know it, because things that happen in this world that really suck. And bad things happen to good people, and I don't understand any more than you do, but it is the world, the fallen world that we live in. So, yeah. If you have full control of the U.S. military, what advantages does that present? Well, you have the whole force of the military behind you. If you have control of the military, then, you've got everything. Because if Trump didn't have control of the military, I don't think he'd be sitting where he's sitting. And I think he'd be dead, personally. I think that they would have succeeded in offing him a while ago. If you have complete authority to declass, what advantages does that present? Oh. And he is going to declass. And you know what? That is, here's Nancy Pelosi. And if I had time to get to Q-related news, I would hit on this, because Nancy Pelosi is over there in Europe saying that she has as much authority as the president. Now, this is recent, because I know she said it before, but she said it again recently. So, yeah, no, she doesn't. She doesn't have the power to declass, nor does she have the power to keep him from declassifying. So, yeah, he's got the power. If you have the support of the American people, patriots, what advantage does that present? Well, and he does. He does have the advantage of the American people, and he knows that people have his back. The patriots have his back. They're going to support him as long as he is doing the will of the people. And he is, at this point, as far as I know, he is doing the will of the American people, and he is trying to keep his promises that he made, and he's darn well succeeding. So, yeah, that is a huge advantage. If you have the support of, do not trust the fake news media. Well, I don't think they have to tell us that. I don't think any of us do. You are the majority, and that is the truth. They would like us to think that the whining, sniveling, I call them WSMs. It's my term, WSMs, whining, sniveling malcontents. And that's what they are. They'd like us to think that the whining, sniveling malcontents are the majority. Well, they're not. We are the majority. That's the truth. Mueller, D-Class, OIG, truth, justice. So he's showing here the sequence of events. You've got the Mueller report, then the D-Class, then the Office of the Inspector General, that report, and then you have the truth coming out. Because once it's declassed, it has to go to the Office of the Inspector General. Then once they look over it, it will be released. So the truth will be released. And once the truth is released, we will have justice. They will be brought to justice. The Great Awakening. You are the news now. Q. Awesome post. Awesome post. It was so nice, I said it twice. All right, here's the next one. We thank you for your service, board owner. We thank you for your service, vols? Not sure what vols are. We thank you for your service, bakers. We thank you for your service, anons. God bless each and every one of you, patriots one and all. Pepe is proud and has never been more popular. Q. And of course, this is to the people on the 8 chance. Maybe VOLS stands for volunteers, I guess, and the bakers that look after the bread, and the anons that do searching out and so forth. So yeah, patriots, one and all. And he's just offering a thank you there, which is very, very considerate. And we are on to the next post. Conservative attacked on UC Berkeley campus. Attacker equals member of local Antifa chapter, joined April 2018. Facial scans do not hit directly. 2 jumps downstream required. Q. Now, I'm not sure about this post, to tell you the truth, because I have not been keeping up with this whole thing with the Berkeley campus. But I think that Q is saying, because I don't think they have identified this person. As far as I know, in the news, they haven't identified him, but Q most certainly has. So is Q saying, well, we identified this person, so why can't you? Or I'm not exactly sure. So let me know what you think about this little drop right here, because I'm not quite sure how to read that and what he means. Obviously, we know that the conservative was attacked at UC Berkeley campus, but he's telling us that this attacker was a member of the local Antifa chapter, and even knows when they joined. So, yeah, not sure there. But let's go on and leave any comments below. And I know I look through them. I know most of you do. A lot of you do anyway. I try to get to all of them, but let me tell you, after it gets into such a point that, it's impossible. So, but I do try. All right, now we've got a link to another Twitter, and so we're going to go look at that next. And here we go. All right. QAnon in Delhi, India. Hashtag question everything. Hashtag QAnon. Hashtag where we go when we go all. Me wearing the Q shirt in a literature festival. Later questioned a panel of its security experts around hashtag deep state. Got an unexpected response. So let's take a look at this. And let me see if hopefully the volume's on this. Or maybe it's just a picture. No, it's just a picture. I can't. Yeah, okay. I thought it was actually because they took a picture, but it's not really. You know what I mean. All right, I don't know what I'm saying. But anyway, it's this guy right here, and he's wearing a Q shirt in India. So Q is a worldwide phenomenon, and we know that. Absolutely. All right, let's go back to Q. Our reach is a direct threat to their control. And that's true because literally, this has reached around the world. I don't know of too many places you could go where, not everybody's going to know about Q, but there's going to be some. And it amazes me how many people listen to this and all the countries that you're all from. It's amazing. Our reach is a direct threat to their control. Would the largest news companies in the world attack us daily if we weren't a threat to their narrative/control? You attack those who threaten you the most. Q. There's all sorts of conspiracies out there. Like there's a conspiracy that says Elvis is alive. But how much press does that get? None. Hardly ever. Once in a while you'll see it in an alternative place, but you don't ever see that. Why would they bother? It's no threat to them. They think it's crazy, and they're just like, pfft. Well, they say that Q is just a conspiracy theory, and it's, idiots believe that, and whatever. Well, why give it so much press? You're just it's free advertising for Q, right? So, keep giving them press, because you know what? Every time you put it in, on TV, in sitcoms or whatever you put it, not in sitcoms, but they put it on NCIS and I guess another show, it just, people start questioning, because I know the way I do. If I'm looking at something and something comes up and I'm thinking, what is that? What are they talking about? I'm going to check it out. And there's going to be a certain number of people that are going to listen and go, wait a minute, there is something to this. So, yeah, it's free advertising. You attack those who threaten you the most. Q. And absolutely you do. So let's go on to the next one, which is this. And we have this lovely little, Q has placed this in here with a Trump tweet and a couple of drops from February. Well, this one's February 6th and this one's April 15th. So let's read. Comey throws Attorney General Lynch under the bus. Why can't we all find out what happened on the tarmac in the back of the plane with Wild Bill and Lynch? Was she promised a Supreme Court seat or Attorney General in order to lay off Hillary? No golf and grandkids talk. Give us all a break. And, you know, that's what they said that they were talking about is golf and grandkids. Right. And this one from February 6th says public interest. Keep high. Uranium One FBI informant A1 / Debbie Wasserman Schultz / Paki Intel / Muslim Brotherhood. Tarmac meeting. SC. Loretta Lynch and Deal. SC. I don't know why that is not coming to me. It should, but it's not. Adam, and then Antonin Scalia, 187 was killed. So, Supreme Court. This, okay, I was thinking it stood for like somebody's initials. No, it's Supreme Court. Tarmac meeting, Supreme Court, Loretta Lynch deal, Antonin Scalia was murdered, 187 is murder, and in kill boxes, Q. Then underneath, he's got this one from April 15th, side-by-side graphics are important. To be clear, Loretta Lynch was promised the Supreme Court position of Ruth Bader Ginsburg. Yeah, I had forgotten about that, but yeah, she was, and somebody else had mentioned this too, another person that does Q posts, that it was actually the position of Ruth Bader Ginsburg that was promised to Loretta Lynch. So, coordinated, planned, Ruth Bader Ginsburg, big problems. Q. So, isn't that interesting? It wasn't Antonin Scalia, even though he was murdered, that she was promised. It was the position of Ruth Bader Ginsburg. So maybe she didn't pass away as quickly as, they had hoped because they wanted to get Loretta Lynch into that position, which never happened. So I don't know. Don't know. Anyway, let's go on and see what Q is saying. He says the deal of a lifetime. Tarmac meeting not planned according to Loretta Lynch and Bill Clinton. But security reports indicate that the U.S. Secret Service detail, Bill Clinton and FBI security detail for Loretta Lynch, planned for meeting. Obviously, they planned for the meeting or their security personnel wouldn't have been there, right? Because the USSS, like the United States Secret Service, was there for Bill Clinton because they do, former presidents still have Secret Service. And the FBI was the security detail for Loretta Lynch. So they were there. So must have been planning something. And Supreme Court / Loretta Lynch deal presented by Bill Clinton. Yeah. He's not asking questions here. He's telling us. He's telling us what happened. So yeah, the security was there because they were expecting the meeting. And Bill Clinton presented the deal to Loretta Lynch. What action did James Comey take days after? Well, days after, James Comey said that, remember, he changed the classification and said basically that the wording he changed it to I can't remember exactly the wording that he changed it to, but it changed the severity of the crime or the whatever. So yeah, let me see, where are we? Less than a week after the tarmac meeting, James Comey announced that the FBI would not recommend an indictment against Hillary Rodham Clinton, and he changed that. He changed the wording as well, so that it wouldn't seem like it was quite as egregious as it was. So, returning to the news, well, I guess it will be, won't it? Because Q's telling us, returning to the news. So it's going to. Q. So we have that to look forward to. Wonder what's going to come out there. All right, let's go up to the next one, shall we? Of course we shall. Here we go. I know, it's a long way up there. I made these big enough for you to see them on your tiny little phones. All right, so Q has dropped some memes for us to take a look at, and ones that we've seen before, but these are bigger. I made them bigger for you so that you could have at least a hope of reading them. So tarmac, based on a true story, impossible to defend. QAnon, the nail in many coffins. QAnon, we have it all. QAnon, no deals. QAnon, boom. QAnon. And we've got Loretta Lynch and starring Clinton, Lynch, Renteria, and released the video. Awesome. And okay, I love this look on Bill Clinton's face. Oh, it's funny. Okay, and then here's the next one. Hey, Loretta, if you can get my wife off the hook for that email thing, there's a Supreme Court seat in it for you. And what if she loses? Lose? Are you kidding? We own the media. How could she lose? Days later. Our judgment is that no reasonable prosecutor would bring such a case. Yeah, that's exactly how it happened too. All right, and here, quite the meeting on the tarmac. Attorney General and former president stop for chat. Oh, I'm sure they were chatting about their golf scores and their grandkids. Of course, like they were old buddies. Eye roll, everyone. Okay. You do feel better when you roll your eyes. I don't know why. I don't know how it works, but it does. All right. So let's and so we've got these memes, and this, of course, is not a meme, but it's taken from news. And then we've got 2 links to Twitter. So we're going to go out there now. Oh wait, maybe I may have even clipped them out. No, I didn't. When are people going to start asking about what really went on in that plane between Bill Clinton and Attorney General Lynch in June 2016? If it was impromptu, then there wouldn't be Secret Service or FBI records for their security details, right? Right. And that from VoxQDog. Let's go back and look at the other one, because we can. And because Q wants us to. He's put it here for us. And looky here. And here is this one. The deal of a lifetime. So these are where the memes are coming from. The tarmac meme came from the other guy. This guy did this meme. It's a great meme if you ask me. And yeah, so we've already taken a look at that. And the deal of a lifetime. Supreme Court, Loretta Lynch, deal presented by Bill Clinton. What actions did James Comey take days after? So that he's just reiterating the Q post and placing the meme. So let's go back. And all right, now Q says dead on. Q. So we know that this is all true because Q is saying dead on, and if it wasn't, Q would correct it. So let's go on to the next post because we can. All right, and here we are at the next one. And Q places this tweet by Donald Trump, and it says, a must-read by Kim Strassel. conspiracy theorist Adam Schiff is looking for something new, anticipating a Mueller letdown, writes Kim Stossel, Wall Street Journal. And we've already looked at this. And actually, Q is posting this an anon from an anon. And underneath, the anon says, "Why hasn't this been noted yet? Trump just tweeted the same link Q stated Trump just tweeted the same link Q started with in post 2856 regarding new narrative. Q proof. Got popcorn? Q." So apparently this was posted and at the same time that Q posted. So yeah, the same link Q started with. So anyway, let's go on. Not too much there. And then here, Q is referencing what he just said below. Got popcorn? Q. And beneath that, he says, "There sure are a lot of Q comments on that tweet POTUS just referred to. Happy Friday, Q." Now, what he meant was, if you went out to the actual post, this Q Twitter, this tweet rather. My gosh, I don't know what is wrong with me tonight. The wind has probably blown some neurons away. I don't know. But anyway, if you go out to this actual tweet by Donald Trump, there was a bunch of people there saying, Q sent me, blah, 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 all the Q comments. However, interestingly enough, when I went out there, they were gone. So I think Twitter was cleaning up the comments. I really do. Somebody was, because the comments were gone. But there was a lot of Q comments on his Twitter. All right, let's go on. I love this. I really do. It says, "The wall the media is building in America." And of course, this is the wall between America and Mexico, and they're building a wall between America and America. They are dividing us, not trying to keep out the enemy, but making enemies of our fellow Americans. That is what the media is doing. It's sad. It's very sad. All right. So, and I love this. Whoever did this, fantastic job on that. Anyway, so let's, you know what? I don't have a link to this. Oh, okay. If you go out to the Twitter, Donald Trump, you're going to find this exact meme. So that's why it's all, if we went out to that link, all we would see is this. So we don't need to skip over there. And it says, "Memes, memes, and more memes. The truth will always win. Q." All right. Well, let's hope so. I think that we're about due for truth winning. I think we're really due. I think we're all weary of this, and I think it's been harder on us because as we've become aware of it, it's harder on us because we become aware of it and we get angry because it's like, are you kidding me? And the more you become aware of, the more you open your eyes to what they're really doing, they become so transparent. I mean, they think they're so clever. What they don't realize is they are transparent as glass. I mean, we see through it. We see through what they're doing. So, yeah, it's hard on us. It really is. And if you don't think so, then you're not being realistic with yourself, because knowing all this stuff is a burden. It's a burden. Like, yeah, part of me says, yeah, would have been nice to not know, but no, that's not my personality. If there's something to find out, I'll find out. So anyway, let's go on to the next one, which is this. And Q places this here, and we're going to take a look at a bigger graphic because I know you can't see that. And it says, and by the way, /PB stands for past bread, and it was you guys that showed me that, some of you guys. So, and I noticed that some other people didn't know what that meant as well. So now you know. Past bread, impossible to defend. Vietnam trip coming. Enjoy the show. Q. And actually, yes, Q confirms to us that POTUS is Q plus. That's what this is. It's a confirmation that that POTUS is actually Q plus, and POTUS is en route to Vietnam for the summit with the North Korea leader, Kim Jong-il. And so let's, and here I just clipped this out to show you North Korea's Kim reported en route to Vietnam summit with Trump. So, and here is a link to a bigger graphic where we can see the proof that POTUS is Q plus. POTUS aboard Air Force One. When POTUS is aboard Air Force One and he's posting, he posts as Q plus. Now, this is interesting. Let me see. No, I can't make it any bigger. Okay, Air Force One call sign. Now, you know that on the 8chan board, there's a bunch of guys, well, guys, girls, whoever, and they're called plane fags. Now, I don't know why they call them that, but they're people that, you know, are really interested in planes and look all this stuff up, and they were able to determine that the call sign showing for Air Force One was Q0. And it was 26,000 feet heading over West Virginia. And this was Air Force One, and I can't make this any bigger, I apologize. And they're on, this is from the 7th of December, 2018. It says, where is the plus on a mobile phone when dialing? Trolling the fake news media is fun. At some point, the question will be asked. Q. Well, the plus sign on the phone is under the 0. So Q plus would translate to Q0, which is the call sign for Air Force One. Or at least it was on that day. So yeah, it's further proof, because why would they use Q0? And 0 is a plus. And you know, when Q is aboard Air Force One, that's what he uses, Q plus. There you go. Doesn't get any plainer than that. I love all these proofs. I really do. Because you know what? We all need it. We all do. Even those of us that believe this and have seen enough that we believe it, it's still nice when you see the proofs. All right. Let's go on. Shall we? Yes, we shall. All right. And here we are at the next one. And Q gives us a link and says, are we having fun yet? The best is yet to come. Q. Now, what we're about to look at, do you remember July 24th? And the POTUS was on his way somewhere, and there was people along the side of the road, and one was holding up a sign that said honk for Q or something, and the presidential motorcade honked. Well, it was pretty awesome, and that's what this video is. We're going to go out and look at that. It says this happened on July 24th. It goes with drop 1691, where Q said, we saw you. God bless patriots. The best is yet to come. So Q is reminding us of this and showing us the actual video. And he says, are we having fun yet? The best is yet to come. Q. Let's go look. is pretty cool. Like, I know if that was me holding the sign and they honked, I would be like, ah, I'd be so excited. Yeah, no, I really would be like, ah, just like that too. Ah, really. Okay, let's go on. I'm being silly. I don't know what's wrong with me. Okay, so that's that, and nothing too deep there, but it was pretty cool. So let's go on. I might have to split this up, to tell you the truth, because this is going to end up being a very long post. But anyway, there's a lot. He dropped a lot on the 22nd. Okay, so here we are in the next one. And we've got a link here that Q is wanting us to look at. And it says, it's amazing what a person finds when they simply research. Praising Castro? Will the next wave of Democrats 2020 candidates begin to push the everything will be free, reparations for all Black Americans, more government control will save us, etc., etc., etc.? Broken record. Lines in order to buy/con voters? More talk, more claims, no facts, no plan, no details? What happened regarding Bernie's wife fraud case? It pays to play. The more you know. Let's go take a look at the first. And, oops, that's not the right one. Here we are. Bernie Sanders. Oh, yes, yes, yes. Now, this is a guy that, you know, if I'm having trouble sleeping, I just put him on and I'm like, I'm out. Seriously. I don't know what it is about this guy. He is the most low energy, monotone, mumble. I don't know. Just mumbles. I don't know. All right, let's take a look at this. Bernie Sanders in 1985 praising communist Castro regime in Cuba and admitting on camera that he traveled to Nicaragua to advise the Ortega regime on how to successfully fight the United States. And this man wants to be president. Sure does. Yeah. Well, let's take a listen. It's 2 minutes and 19 seconds. If you really don't want to listen to this, please fast forward. And I don't blame you. I don't judge you at all. All right.
As a socialist, the word socialism does not frighten me, and I think it's probably fair to say that the Nicaraguan government is primarily a socialist government. You may recall way back in, 1961, they invaded Cuba, and everybody was totally convinced that Castro was the worst guy in the world, that all the Cuban people were going to rise up in rebellion against Fidel Castro. They had forgotten that he educated their kids, gave them health care, totally transformed the society. But just because Ronald Reagan dislikes these people does not mean to say that the people in their own nations feel the same way.
How do you find the sincerity of Sandinista leaders?
I was impressed. I was impressed by Father Descoto because he is a very gentle, very loving man. Ortega is an impressive guy. Ernesto Cardenal is a funny-looking guy. He's gray hair. And he really does remind you of a hippie.
Did you have suggestions for them how they could organize their PR a little bit more effectively?
I think it's yes. I mean, the point that I try to make to many of the people that I spoke to is they're getting killed in the American media. They just cannot compete. Reagan and his people are so sophisticated. They own the airwaves, of course. Reagan, the media, every time Reagan gives them a photo opportunity, thousands. Thank you, Mr. President. Thank you very much for telling us another lie. The media, of course, is not allowed to ask sharp questions of the president. That's not allowed. My point to Ortega is they are not getting their message of what they are trying to do out to the American people, and there's just no question about that. And they just don't have that kind of sophistication to understand how to manipulate the media. As the White House has dozens of people who are trained. They are trained and well-paid people who are professional manipulators of the media. They have their contacts in CBS and NBC and ABC. That's what they're paid to do, and they do it very, very well. Ortega is the president of a country of 3 million people. They have probably one television station. They have no sophistication. They have no knowledge as to when you call. They call press conferences that the media can't even use here in the United States because it's the wrong time. There's a whole science around this, which they're not aware of. They have contacts now they've hired a public relations firm in the United States, and they're trying to improve it. But the main point is, I think they have got to very greatly improve their ability to communicate with the average American. And that's what I said. I think.
Oops. There you go. Socialist Sanders praising the communist Castro regime in Cuba and admitting that he traveled to Nicaragua to advise the Ortega regime. Interesting. Very interesting. All right. Let's go back to Q. Yeah, so it makes sense what Q has said. It's amazing what a person finds when they simply research. Praising Castro, that's exactly what he was doing. So yeah, he's asking, okay, what are these guys going to be bringing in 2020? What are they going to be pushing? Everything's free? Well, how would we ever afford that? You know, they want free education for everyone, free healthcare, free everything. Well, that's great. That's great. But how do you pay for it? And reparations for Black Americans, more government control, blah, blah, blah. You know, the Democrats really don't have any party platform anymore. It's like there's a split in the Democratic Party as far as I see it. They've got the new blood that's come in that's very socialist. And then you've got the old, the old guard, you'd say. And there's a lot of infighting in the Democrats. And I don't see them being able to win a free lunch, to tell you the truth. But hey. All right. And the next thing that Q asks here is what happened to Bernie's wife's fraud case? Well, let's take a look at that. Again, because we can. Well, there we go. Yeah. I thought I was going to have to talk nice to it and buy it dinner, but it finally went to the place it needed to go. I need to upgrade my equipment desperately. Federal prosecutors drop investigation of wife of Bernie Sanders, advisor says. Well, they look like they belong together. I don't mean that mean, but they do. Anyway, the U.S. Attorney in Vermont has told Jane Sanders, the wife of Senator Bernie Sanders, that the office has completed an investigation related to her stewardship of Burlington College and decided not to bring charges, a top advisor to the senator said Tuesday. The investigation centered on a 2010 land purchase that relocated the college Jane Sanders previously ran to a new campus on more than 32 acres along Lake Champlain. While lining up a $6.7 million loan and additional financing, she told college trustees and lenders that the college had commitments for millions of dollars in donations that could be used to repay the loan, according to the former trustees and state officials. Trustees said that they later discovered that many of the donors had not agreed to the amount or the timing of the donations listed on documents Sanders provided to a state bonding agency and a bank. That led to her resignation in 2011 amid complaints from some trustees that she had provided inaccurate information, former college officials said. The land deal, the official said, became a financial albatross for the 160-student school, contributing to its closure in 2016. And these are the people that we want to run our country. Jeff Weaver, who served as campaign manager for Bernie Sanders during his 2016 presidential campaign and remains an advisor, said Jane Sanders had been told in recent days that the land deal is no longer under investigation. Jane Sanders has been informed that the U.S. Attorney in Vermont has closed its investigation of the Burlington College land deal and has decided not to bring charges of any kind. Weaver said in a statement, Jane is grateful that the investigation has come to an end, and she has said from the beginning she has done nothing wrong, and Jane is pleased that the matter has now come to a conclusion. Well, I bet she is. Craig Laporte, a spokesman for the U.S. Attorney's Office in Vermont, would not confirm or deny the existence of an investigation investigation in keeping with office policy. While both Bernie Sanders and Jane Sanders had insisted from the outset that she did nothing wrong, the case loomed as a potential liability if the senator makes another run for the Democratic presidential nomination in 2020. The senator, who easily won re-election last week, has not signaled whether he will run for president. In a book published this year, Weaver argues that Sanders would be the most likely candidate to topple President Trump. Are you kidding me? That's the best they have? Seriously? Oh my gosh, Trump's a shoo-in. Are you serious? Are you serious? That sounds like Paul Begley. You ever listen to him? He always says, are you serious? Are you serious? Well, I'm not saying it like him, but he does it much better. Okay, let's go back. I've got a comment here on this. So the feds dropped charges against Bernie's wife. Why? Was there a payoff? Don't know. But I really liked this comment by the oppressor Liber, and it's from the website Disclosure Italia. Going to be posting less Q analysis. Well, I'm not going to read this first couple sentences because it doesn't apply. It says, Dems continue to praise communism and communist leaders to appeal to their base. Bernie Sanders' wife's fraud case magically disappeared. Amazing how that seems to happen for connected Democrats. Not much longer. My first impression of the Robert Kraft arrest, and that's what we're going to be looking at next. So he's actually commenting on something that we're going to be looking at next, and that will be the last post on this video. I'm going to split it and then do a second part. Okay. So just keep in mind that what we're reading right now is going to apply to the next post. So his wife's case magically disappears. And yeah, it does happen for connected Democrats. Happens a whole lot. My first impression of the Robert Kraft arrest was to think the cabal was going after POTUS due to his close relationship to Kraft. Q obviously knew this was going down and made the comment about what's coming being more exciting than Super Bowl puppy comment. Look to Urban Dictionary for understanding of these terms. Kraft caught up in massive massage parlor sting in South Florida. In years past, things like this would be taken care of for the wealthy elite. We will need to let this one play out a bit. Hillary committed crimes against children, and her crimes involved treason and sedition. The crimes against children will come out. She will be charged and executed. Okay, so let's go on, and we're going to go up to the next, I think it is the next post. Yes, the next two posts, actually. So it says, this one is, Q is referencing an anon who said, you can bet Q knew Kraft was on surveillance video just when Kraft got all liberal in the fake news. Keck Q. And underneath this, Q responds, Super Bowl winners, puppy, sex, _ Urban Dictionary. So he's wanting us to look at the Urban Dictionary for puppy, sex. Yeah, let's go take a look. And it is here. Let me make it a little bit bigger for you guys. All right. It's a very, I'm wondering if this is going to be one of those terms that they ban the video for, but a very sexy person who does nothing all day but follow around his or her master in a sexual manner, always happy for intercourse. Yeah. I never heard that term, and I could have lived quite nicely never hearing it. But there it is. Now, here it says, POTUS called Kraft every week for a year after his wife died, yet Kraft slammed POTUS for his stance on kneeling during national anthem. So much for loyalty. And by the way, Kraft is the owner, manager of the Patriots, the New England Patriots. So anyway, in case you don't know, because we're not all into, sports. Okay, Kraft slammed POTUS for his stance on kneeling during national anthem. So much for loyalty. 20th of February drop regarding Super Bowl and puppy show. Q knew Kraft arrest was coming. Well, obviously, because I wondered about that comment. I thought, puppy bowl? Like, what is he talking about? Now I know. Now we know. And makes sense, I guess. You know, the puppy bowl comment anyway, but who would have thunk it? All right, now this is the last one, and then I'm going to break and start another video. And by the time you've listened to this one, the other one will be done. Okay, let's look at this. We've looked at the Urban Dictionary, so we know that. This is Kraft, obviously. Let's take a look at a bigger picture of this so we can see. Come on, Bessie. All right. All right, so this is Kraft, and underneath here is the drop from Q from February the 20th, and he says, but you knew that already, and it says past bread, but you knew that already. Hence, why Adam Schiff, Southern District in New York, and Maxine Waters are attempting to keep the insurance scheme ongoing post-Mueller. Fear. The fun begins directly after. We'll make the Super Bowl look like a puppy show. Yeah, Q. He knew. Of course he knew. Q knows. There's things Q knows. He knows things. All right. Let's go back here, and this just gives you a little bit of background on it. This is my link, not Q's, but it'll give us a little bit of victims of alleged human trafficking ring that ensnared Robert Kraft were forced to live in massage parlors and perform sex acts, according to police. Yeah. So that is what he did, and apparently, I'm not going to read all this because it's getting really, really long, but you know, apparently there's a lot of other big names involved in this that are going to be coming out. I've heard that now from several sources, so I would assume that it's true that there are some big names attached to this that are also going to be coming out in the news. So I guess we have that to look forward to. Anyway, I'm going to stop there because I think it's a very good place to stop, and we will finish up the second part of February 22nd, and then I will be coming back with the 24th, the post from today. All right, so I'm going to stop it there and get this uploaded, and thank you guys so much for listening. I appreciate you all, and I will see you real soon. Bye.